Cookie.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Say hello, Cookie.
Kimmy.
Hey, Cookie.
What up?
How are you?
Here we are. I'm good.
Yes.
We're back in the studio.
We're back.
I'm so
this
excited.
week brought to you by My Fish That I Just Slayed.
Oh my God. Kimmy just cooked some fish.
I did.
And it was so good. Like, even though I had to take the bones out because she's all like natural and shit, it was still,
You
was
want your fish
worth
to have bones?
the work. I was removing them.
Do you want
motherfuckers.
boneless fish like we got seedless grapes? Like that shit don't even make no sense.
How can you have a fish with no bones?
The same way we got seedless grapes. It's confusing.
How can you have a grape with no seed?
We have seedless watermelons too.
That's crazy.
And we also have a
And all we
wominator.
think about is convenience, but we don't think about what that means to not have seeds.
All
in
the
a
seeds are
watermelon.
going to the wominator.
See, and I am the one and only true wominator, made by Jesus.
I know. That's why I've been dreaming about fish, and luckily I wasn't pregnant because I'm not doing nothing right now.
Oh,
So
whiffed
maybe I
child.
just wanted to, So I just wanted to cook a whole fish. Sometimes actually you just want to serve my friends right now. I think I'm in a time of service. I went through this
And I
whole
love it.
fast.
It's
now
beautiful.
I want to serve my friends.
No, but that's beautiful because you know what? I've been looking at. I'm always looking at something, listening to some audiobooks or watching some YouTube videos, and they talk about how if you want whatever you want in life, you can have it as long as you help other people get what they want.
Yeah.
If you make that your priority, like you can have whatever you want. If you make it your priority to be of service, naturally everything you want will be your needs and everything will be met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm that
Beautiful
person
thing.
naturally anyway, like a service-oriented person, period. Like just.
I can see that in you. And it's nice to meet somebody like you because I think different things I went through led me to develop this philosophy like, put me first because I've been put last. And so here I am thinking that I was living out my dreams doing that. And I'm realizing like, no, I don't think this is the way to go. Because you think it's like a thing of like, well, people are just abusive and like, you know what, I'm going to make sure but no, you know what? I realized that it has been a blessing to be of service.
Isn't it like Hobbes and Locke, right? Where it's like, are people innately bad and we're acting good? Or are we innately good and doing bad things? Like, yeah, I think it's like Hobbes and Locke have this like theory about that. But like, I'm mixed, right? Because like, it's dumb. Like, even if I do stupid shit, like think about stupid shit. Like, I turned 21 in Vegas with like my sister. And when I tell you we was reckless, like hopping in 2 different Lamborghinis with 2 strangers.
Come on, been there, done
reckless,
that.
right? Like, but it's like, but my belief that people are innately good, I really have been blessed to like no real bad shit has happened. And I know people say, God take care of babies and fools, and maybe it's foolish to believe that people are good, but I just like, I don't think that innately people are trying to do bad shit.
I think that, but the reason you probably feel that way is because you know yourself. Because that's how I feel about people as well, because the only real point of reference I have is myself. And I feel like even in the midst of me doing certain things that I look back and deem now as negative or wrong, when I really think about like, it's like, you know what, you shouldn't have did that. But it's like, do I feel like I was coming from like what was going on with me at that time? And if I am able to afford myself that grace, I feel like it's only right that I afford it to other people. It's like, you know what? Because I know what it's like to be in the middle of some shit and have made some questionable decisions, I'm going to give you that grace too. Like, you know what? I understand what it's like to be in that state of mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. And I just feel like as I'm going through things now, and the 4 Agreements talks about this too. Like,
love it. Don Miguel Ruiz.
Right. It's like, this isn't about me. So even when people do bad things or bad behavior, this isn't about me.
It's not.
It's about self. So like if you do something bad, like you steal or something, it's like you didn't want to steal from me. You thought you wanted something.
Right.
And and so what I am becoming is like, because I'm such a giver, I am becoming more selfish with my time. So I can spend that energy
the most
on
valuable
people
thing
who
you
I
have.
Yeah, so I can spend that energy with like you, with my friends, with my
Things
soon-to-be
I
partner, with the
wanna
things I love.
do.
So I can, so I'm selfish with my time now. But like,
as you should be, it's the only true currency we have.
yeah, but
It's
like
not-
that
yeah.
doesn't make me bad because like somebody asked me to do something. I'm like, no, it's not about them. It's about me being selfish with my time.
Period.
I know now everything I'm doing is operating about me being about self
Come on.
and growth, and so that may affect someone in another way. But I can't worry about that anymore.
No, and then they gotta figure out why they're so heavily connected to what you're doing. So they have their own path to carve out and things to figure out.
Well, it's easier to say the control is someone else than to really look at like yourself.
It's so much
and
easier.
I'm learning that.
It's so much easier.
even about myself.
And even the day that you figure out that it was me, it's going to be a hard day, but it's also liberating because you know what? If it was me this whole time, that is fucked up because I've been feeling like it was everybody else this whole time. But if I have figured out that it wasn't them and it was me, okay, I'm sad and that's fucked up, but I can change that shit.
It's me creating this.
So it's both, it's fear, it's frightening, but it's also liberating. It's like, okay, it wasn't you. Okay, I've been wrong this whole time, but you know what? All right, then what do I need to do to figure this shit out?
Yeah.
I'm
the creator.
What do I need to do? I'm figuring out that this been me the whole time. And that's hard when I think about different shit that I done went through that I really would love to blame on another person.
Yeah.
But now I have to be like, oh.
Dude, my dad had some... I had some really dope talks with my dad this weekend because I was telling him
about... You went to Atlanta, right?
I did. I went to ATL.
Kimmy went back home.
You know, I got recharged. And I was telling my dad about this dude at work who's just whatever. And he was like, you know, Joe Blow isn't nothing but a catalyst to make you uncomfortable. Ooh, he was like,
come on, Daddy.
He was like, whether he an asshole or not, this now is something to make you uncomfortable to create a change. You can make this all about him all you want.
It ain't even about him.
He was like, but whether it is or whether it isn't.
They're going to have to edit that out.
Yeah,
Daddy just got me hot.
But it's like, whether it is or whether it isn't, it's just like, this is you. This is you. This is something that needs to change.
Come on.
It's something. And he's like, you can put this all out. He said, because you've been too comfortable.
Go.
You've been comfortable, and this is here to shake you up. That's who he is.
And I want you.
You're going to thank him later. That's what he said.
Daddy. Oh,
I'm like, damn, Daddy, I thought you was going to call him an asshole.
Not only is Kimmy Daddy fine, I mean, I just got to say it. He is fine. Cookie's fonder of older men. But he is fine. I'm just saying, like, he's fine. And he's wise, too. But let me tell you, though. What's so funny about what you're saying about him being a catalyst is that I watched a video. Cookie be watching all types of shit. And the video was like, you need to question everything in your life, every situation as, okay, what is this here? What is this doing here? And what is it designed to teach me? Right? Mm-hmm. Because if because the guy who made the video, he was like, first of all, I already know you're different because you're here watching this video. So we know you have nobody on the outside to blame. So what is it that you asked for that needed to present itself through situations to get you to that point? Mm-hmm. What is it that you asked for? Because Neville says this, every person that shows up, every fear that you have manifests itself in the form of a person or a situation. Yeah. To show you something about you. Mm-hmm. Because this whole experience is about you and you. Yeah. As much as you want to, that's why when you go to therapy, that nigga don't say, well, bring your mama here and your daddy. Let's talk to all of them. It's only one motherfucker in that session. Why?
It was crazy. It is. It's
for
crazy.
Real.
Because my dad gave me the scenario and he was like, you know, so my dad used to drive trucks. Like he used to drive like diesel, gas, all that kind of shit, whatever. Right. And he was like, you know, I was living it up. Me, my homeboy Born, my homeboy Mike. He like started naming somebody. He's like, we was living it up. Like I wasn't working on Saturdays. Right. He said if I did work on Saturdays, I was off by 2:00. I was making good money. I was in the truck. He's like, yo, we was fucking. I had my crew. He was like, it was so funny to hear him talk about it
like that.
Because he's your dad. I'm like, yo, I got my friend,
homies. I'm straight. I'm dating. I live downtown.
I got Cookie. I got Jim. I got
my dog Wealthy.
You know, I'm like, I got Jewel. We out here in these streets.
We out here in these streets.
So he was like, then he was like, he told me about some scenario that happened where he ended up getting in a fight with these Arabs. So I also I knew my daddy was about that life. But like in this story, I learned that my daddy is way more about the life than I thought. I knew he was about his life. Like my dad done worked at the prison. Yeah. He done been arrested at Freak Nick. Like my dad is himself.
Yeah, he was. But like before he was your daddy.
He was.
He was.
And
he
even
was a
still
man.
Like he was my daddy, right? But like,
right.
So he's this whole he's just a whole nigga. Like I understand my brother so much more. That's why I wish you gotta know Dallas because that's you.
Come
you know.
On, and he does.
I mean,
but he's coming from a higher fatherly perspective.
He is. But like, so then he was telling me the story. He was like, so then his manager left, or the owner left. Right. Said this new guy come in, and the new guy was like, all right, you know, blase, I'm blase. And I just want you to know this. I don't let anybody take any days off 2 days before or after a holiday.
Before or after?
A holiday. Yeah,
so my dad you could have a holiday off.
Right. So my dad, so he said, wait, if Christmas is on a Friday or a Saturday and I already don't work Saturday, you telling me I can't take Friday or Thursday, even if I already don't work Saturday?
What did he say?
My dad was like, oh, okay. He said he put in his 2 weeks the next day. Because he said, I'd be damned if I have to ask some man to be able to take my kids to Disney World. Yeah, that's what he said. So he left that day. He went and bought a truck, and then my dad ended up having a trucking company. So he ended up getting 4 or 5 trucks.
Come on.
But he was like, that day, that was the catalyst. He's like, and I can make it about him being an asshole. He said, and that guy didn't last long. He said he was only there maybe 7 months.
Look at that.
Because, of course, Born and all his friends were still there telling him about it. He was like, but he wasn't there because he was an asshole. He was an asshole, but he was there to make me change. He said, I wouldn't have left. He said, I was super comfortable. My homeboys was there. I'm kicking it. I'm making good money.
Come on, Daddy.
He like, yo, my friend's there. I'm off Saturdays. He like, whoa. He said, I wouldn't even know. He said, that was chump change to me now. But I wouldn't even know.
But that was the ultimate. Let me tell you why.
He said, I thank him.
Your daddy.
I thank him for coming.
Because he recognized what it is. Life will present you with something that makes you so uncomfortable that either you're gonna have to bitch up or you're gonna have to take a shit, get off the pot, right? So it's like this. The universe already knew. God already knew. I don't do well with a man. Some shit. What? Yeah. Oh, so I'm not gonna comply. Yeah. So I'm gonna do my natural next step. I'm out.
Yeah. He said, and I was no job 2 weeks.
And I was meant to be out. And this is why I love Neville. Okay, I don't know. I can't remember if it was Neville or Joe Dispenza or whomever said this. Forgive me. I'll figure it out. That life will give you whatever experience is necessary for the evolution of your consciousness. Right? And if you truly believe that, that means every time something is coming to you, rather than fighting it, you figure out why it's here. What did I ask for that warranted this?
And my dad said, you will be exhausted to keep trying to change the stimuli when you're already stimulated. When you really need to change the situation. He said, you will run yourself into a circle trying to change the thing that made you feel like something should change, because at this point, you're already in the motion of the change. So if you don't need to change your situation, you're going to be so busy trying to change something that's already in the past because you're stimulated.
Real?
It's just, it's still stimuli.
It's time to bust a move, baby.
This.
Come on.
I got to change me.
I'm going
to run in circles trying to change this.
And you going to get, I don't care what situation you're in, how much you think you can take. You're going to get to a point where it's like, yeah, I can't do this. Ain't for me.
And I'm telling my dad, my dad said, okay, so all I'm asking you is what you gonna do?
Period.
And I wanted him to say he a fuck nigga, he this, he that, because all of these
because
things.
that's what women do. Yeah. Men is just like, here, I got solutions.
So what you gonna do?
I got solutions.
Because this is making you uncomfortable. He said, my dad said you sound like you was comfortable and now you uncomfortable.
Period.
Let's go.
Let's go. Next? What did we say last podcast? We said, okay, my presence says yes.
Yes. If I'm here, I'm giving you the okay.
Yeah, no matter how much I complain and talk about, I can't stand this nigga. He get on my nerves. He did this. Let me tell you what he did last week. Let me tell you what he did last year. It don't even matter.
Yeah.
You can't hate him too bad because you still there. Having new experiences with
enough.
Him.
Exactly.
So life really forces you to be clear. Mm-hmm. Because you know how we know you're not clear? Because I'm looking at the situations you keep talking about, that you keep being in, that you keep recreating.
And so as I'm talking crazy shit, as I'm talking to my dad, I get a text that my stimuli has put in his 2 weeks. So my dad said, so now what you really gonna do? Because so was it about this person or was it about you needed to change? Because now the test is about your willpower to do what you said you're gonna do. Because it's not about this person. It's
it ain't about that person. And you know what? Because and until you start realizing it, you're going to manifest different faces with the same situation.
Exactly.
And be like, oh my God, they hired another motherfucker.
Yes. And it's like, it's you. It's me.
And it's you. That's how powerful you are.
Yeah.
Ooh, wee. Yeah. Come on. Okay,
I was recharged in
Atlanta. Come on, daddy. Ugh. Ooh, ain't nothing like a daddy.
I know.
That's why we be out here trying to find them. Like, I'd have to find me a daddy.
Girl.
Somebody who is a daddy.
Girl. Because, and we'll get into it later, but my daddy really laid down, like, you know how you knew some shit, but you didn't know some shit, but like.
Nah, you knew it in theory.
I knew it in theory, but like, yo, I do run out here and operate the way I operate because I know my dad told me he made a conscious commitment. Because my dad was in the military. He got into the military.
Yeah.
17, 18, whatever. But he was part of this like black unit or something where he like jumped out of planes and they like flew planes.
So whatever. He was airborne.
Yes. But he was in the army, but they did some shit like where my dad's like, I got the special jacket and shit.
Yeah,
you know, I'm smart.
He be jumping out of planes. That's special.
So he was like, I made a conscious decision. If I'll go die for this country's mission, I'm definitely going to die for my family.
Period.
And he was like, you don't even know that you know this, but and he's right. Ever since I was like, I'm very conscious about who I'm going to bring to my daddy or whatever. Because he like.
As you should be.
He said, because the day you tell me a nigga put his hands on you is a day I've already committed to the fact that whatever it is after this is like, I got to take care of this. I got to take care of this.
It's a wrap.
And, and so like, in everything that's happening right now in the country, my dad is also, people want to use the word militant, but I don't use that word. And me and my dad actually spent a lot of time watching The Godfather Harlem, which is, now a slick crush on Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
But, and
is that
he was
Bumpy
just
Johnson?
like, Bumpy Johnson,
it
is.
Yeah.
And my dad is like, because like, I really like the way they portray Malcolm X in that. I like Malcolm X, period, but I love the way they portray him.
I like Lawrence Fishburne as Bumpy Johnson, too, though.
I haven't seen Hoodlum.
Oh,
I have seen Hoodlum. Okay,
Hoodlum,
okay.
But yeah.
But I just like the evolution of, and I really just like how they spotlight Malcolm X, because it's just like, this is less about being militant and more about me being a man.
And that's the thing. And that's when you come to the space where you appreciate men. Mm-hmm. When I look back at, even when I watch movies like 300, boom, here we are, and I'm married to my wife, I have children, but she already knows that I got to do what I got to do. And so, matter of fact, it brings shame to her if I'm a coward or if I don't want to go off to battle. Like, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Right? And so in higher levels of understanding, women truly understand that part of the masculine where it's like, you know what, I love you and I want to be with you. And naturally, I'd want to be with you to a nice old age. But at the same time, that thing that I know that you have that will probably get you killed is also that thing that draws me to you.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, you don't play no fucking games. I'm always leery if a nigga wants to live at all costs.
Yes.
Because then what are you willing to do? Suck a dick?
Exactly.
Yeah, probably. So here's my thing. I need you to be like, hey, there's certain shit you just can't do to me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to die on it.
What T.I. said, I don't know what you do for your respect, but I'll die for mine.
So period. So what that means is you can't just do anything to me, baby. Like, because I'm telling you, when a nigga wants to live at all costs, while that sounds like, oh, you live to see another day. Nah, even me as a woman, I've come to understand you can't want to live at all costs now.
And you're not taking ownership of what's yours, right? Because when my dad said, he told me the story about my brother, my little brother. And like, I always knew my dad was really about it. I'll tell y'all a story about this. So like, I'm like,
about it.
Right? And so like, so I remember, I'm probably like, latchkey kid, whatever. Like, like my parents are really, really set now, but my dad always been on the grind.
Right.
Right. And my dad's athletic though. He ain't no short nigga, but he's super tall. He like 6'3", you know what I'm saying?
Life.
But so I came home, I walk home from school, right? I live probably less than 0.2 miles. I live up this hill from my school. I'm in elementary school. And I walk home from school with my neighbor. So the one day I don't walk home from school with my neighbor, right? I walk home by myself. I couldn't find him. I'm like, yo, where's Timmons? So, and I walk by myself. So I walk down to the house, right? Literally probably 0.2 miles. And I'm like 9, 10. I'm in elementary school because my elementary school's up there. And I went to that elementary school until 2nd grade. So I'm not old at all. I'm like 7 maybe. Well, you 7 in kindergarten. So whatever. I'm like 8, 9, whatever. So I make it home and I get into the garage, but as soon as I open the garage door into my house, I see the back door is ajar.
Uh-oh.
And so as soon as I come in, I hear some people up. I hear some shit.
Okay.
So I run out the garage and I run to my neighbor's 2 houses down.
Okay.
And they got these bushes out front. Okay. So I run and I kind of crawl and I try to knock on their door and they don't answer. So then I hide in the bushes, and it's sticky bushes, but I hide in there and I'm terrified. So I just lay in there. Right. So like, and when I do this, I could see a car that's parked at the top of my house. It's not in my driveway, but I didn't notice it on the way down.
Okay.
But it's parked kind of to the left of my house. Like I can't describe it, but like, and I'm like having this nostalgia about my house as I'm talking about it. Like I really want to go back and buy it, but I actually am going to do that. I'm claiming it. But
it's yours.
It is my house. Like, it's this ivy tree that's always been right there full of ivy. I'd be interested to see what it looks like right now. So you can kind of can't see the car behind the ivy, but now I can see it because my vantage point is on the other side of the tree.
Okay.
Because the ivy tree is in the middle of my direct neighbor's house. I'm 2 houses down in the sticky bushes. So I see this car, it's like this tan Cutlass or whatever. And so, but I'm scared and I'm crying, but I'm trying to be quiet because when I walked in my house, they said, someone's here. They heard the garage.
They heard, ooh.
So I hear shuffling or whatever. I see them shuffling or whatever. I don't see people go to the car because I'm like hiding in these bushes, but I hear the car leave. It's a Cutlass or whatever. So I stay in there. I'm in there like 3 hours. I'm cut up and shit because it's a sticky bush.
Yeah.
So then finally Timmons comes home, my neighbor, and I come out and I'm crying. I'm like, yo, somebody broke into our house. Somebody broke into our house. So my neighbor, I lived in a neighborhood with neighborhood. So they knew my mama.
Yeah, right.
We knew my neighbor. So then they called. So she was actually at my wedding. Like I grew up with these people. So she called my mom. And my mom ended up getting my dad. And she's like, something happened, go to the house. So my dad come to the house. He called the police. Of course, the police come, maybe 30, 45 minutes later. My dad's like, no, somebody broke into the house. My kid was in here. So somebody had broken in. They had kicked our back door down.
Wow.
Took some small shit, like stereos and that kind of shit, TVs and shit. But my dad's like, so what's going to happen? The police was like, we're going to do an investigation, whatever. I said, okay. So then my dad was like, all right, Britt. I kept describing this car.
Right.
And it kept playing over and over to me because I kept describing this car. And I was like, all right. So they leave. The cops leave. My dad's like, get in the car. My dad was like, all right, get in the car. So I'm like, all right. So he like, I'm going to drive around in a couple neighborhoods. Let me know when you see the car. And I'm like, you know,
He
and
knew
they
the
ain't text shit.
He knew the motherfucker.
But he like, you know, you ain't gonna break into somewhere too far from your place.
Most places that get broken into is somebody who kind of know you, who been kind of peeping the scene and know like
you
know
ain't too far.
Yeah.
So we drive around and I finally think I see it. I'm like, Dad, that's it. He's like, you sure? I'm like, Dad, that's it. He's like, all right, get down into the dashboard. So I crawl down in the bottom of the car, and I swear to God, I see my dad cock like a fucking
come on,
big ass gun and a small ass gun.
Come on, Daddy.
And he's like, get down in the dashboard. He like, get down in the dashboard. And he like, if I don't come back, stay in this dashboard. If you don't hear from me in like 15 minutes, like, you know, run from the car, but get down in the dashboard. I don't know what the fuck happened.
But he found
genuinely
something out.
All I know is my dad left and he came back about 15 minutes later. We also never had another problem at my house.
Come on.
But what I'm saying is that, like,
straight up,
I knew then, though, like, it wasn't about the police. My dad was like, yo, you came into my house. My kid was there.
Yeah.
My kid is
And if I don't do something, you're going to think you can come in my house.
So I'm going to make sure you know.
So here's the thing. I got to be willing to die. Otherwise, I'm going to live knowing that you think you can bust down my door anytime. And that's no way to live, baby. I can't live like that. But a lot of you niggas can.
Yeah. And I was like,
not me.
Get in the car.
Not me. I'd rather die than to live thinking that you think you can run up in my shit anytime you want.
Yes. But what I also learned as a woman that day is like, okay, be very cognizant of the situation I put my dad in, because if he's willing to die, I got to be willing to suck it up, shut up, be quiet, whatever. Period. Because like, even now,
Come
like,
on. If I can preach
it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be, I know if I call my dad right now, my dad said we were, sadly, we was watching all that shit that was happening right now. Sadly, my dad's
with Tyree
and everything. My dad's like, fuck a peaceful protest. They're going to put me on TV and I'm going to be like, I'm coming for them niggas.
Yes.
Y'all better watch out for me. I'm coming for them niggas. My dad was like, before you get me on camera, I probably have already plotted to come get these niggas.
And that's why even Jay-Z said, he said, y'all not, we know y'all not afraid to kill because you killed motherfucking
Trayvon Martin.
You killed Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
No, we talking about niggas. It's like, here's my thing. You niggas is doing like being violent, but not being violent against who you need to be violent against.
Yes.
Because if people understood that,
they would stop.
They would stop. Let me tell you. When Truman dropped the bomb, when he dropped that motherfucking bomb and everybody was like, wow, that was harsh. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, what did you find out that day?
Yeah.
You found out, don't you ever fly over here. Now you can do it. But let me show you what could happen. So you're going to think twice. He solidified our reputation for generations to come to why people didn't fuck with us, right? Like, even though, now it was fucked up. Some people was like, damn, you ain't had to drop the atom bomb on these niggas. And he's like, well,
but I did.
Here's my thing. That's like saying if you go into my purse and steal $5 and I bash your head in with a fucking hammer, like, damn, that was harsh. Well, who can tell me how to respond? Maybe you shouldn't have did what you did. I'm not. Yes. Maybe you shouldn't have.
My dad says this all the time.
Shit.
God gave every creature a defense mechanism.
Come on.
Every creature.
Come on.
But we want to disarm the black man. Every creature.
Period.
Scorpions.
You want to make
tigers.
You want to sit me. No, and that's why these gun rights.
Every creature.
And this is why you have to be mindful. And this is what I'm always wishing and hoping for people is that when things present themselves to you, and they present themselves in the form of being good natured, like, you know what? There's a lot of shootings going on. Maybe we should ban these guns. I mean, look, the kids are getting killed. Yeah, that's a sad thing. Here's the thing, though, right? You have to watch when they try to come at you with those seemingly natural, because it seems pretty obvious that anybody would, well, you know, look at these kids got killed. Isn't that horrible? Yes, that's horrible. Shouldn't we ban guns? Yeah. Natural. I'm always leery of shit like that because it's like, you're trying to get me under the guise of being a decent human being. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants kids to be fucking killed. Mm-hmm. But what we have to protect with everything we have in us is our ability to protect ourselves.
Yo.
Period.
Who shows up to those peaceful protests armed?
Blank.
Is the police.
Is period. And do you want a world? Do you want a world where only they can be armed?
Exactly.
That's what I caution people to really think about when they think they're coming from such a good space or a healthy space of like, you know what, guys, maybe we should stop these gun situations.
Because it's
okay, but how does that help? First of all, how does that help too?
Yeah.
Because it's only disarming me, the law-abiding citizen. So if you can really present something that I feel like would help that, then I'd be all for it. But just come on now. We got to be mindful. These freedoms that we have are so critically important that anytime anything pops up, questioning them, we've got to really think.
Yes, because we just made a good point. Like, my dad was like, all right, don't nobody, You see a bear cub, you terrified as fuck.
Period.
Because you know.
That mama close by.
And she gonna fuck you up.
Period.
My dad's like, so what would it look like if truly retribution was, if they truly feared what we were gonna do as a people, if men truly stood up and was like, all right, you kill my son, I'm gonna take y'all niggas out.
Period.
I'm gonna kill your son.
Why do you think?
And Chris Rock made a joke about it. Like, but it's just like, nah, if we really reacted like that, we would really see some change. Everybody's like,
why you think
protest, but peacefully.
Fuck all
like,
that.
Them niggas is bringing guns to these protests. They bringing guns to our boys, and we out here peacefully walking around.
It's the reason they boiled Nat Turner alive. It's because when Nat Turner went around. And I used to listen to Dr. Khalid Muhammad because my dad used to be a super radical when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Khalid used to be like,
I think our dads would be great friends.
Man, period, right?
Well, we're great friends.
Yeah, right? Farrakhan used to go to the meetings.
Oh my God, my dad is such a Farrakhan follower.
King, come on. They would have the little brochures and shit. But it's like funny because when you think about, I think about what they said. He said, Nat Turner was rounding up slaves, going to each plantation, killing the men, women, and children. And when people asked, they said, why are you going to kill the women and the children? And he said, well, you got to kill, because, some people, we get to feeling nice, right? It's like, why you got to kill the kids too? They ain't do nothing. He said, because they going to grow up and they going to enslave your babies. Mm-hmm. So we got to kill them too. Mm-hmm. You can't be afraid to do what's necessary. And here's the thing. I feel
I'm a man by any means necessary.
Period, baby. But when they
treat
start
me like a man by any means necessary.
And that's the true feminization of men that's happening, is you being lulled into this false sense of being humane. And here's the thing. The Bible even says there's a time for everything. And there's a time to kill a motherfucker. And so my thing is, you are allowing what, like your daddy said, what other species can you go and look at and they have chosen to be disarmed and allow another group to determine how they protect themselves or to be their protection.
And then get this. Then we ask them, and then we choose to ask them to be humane in the laws they create for us.
Yes.
It's like, why am I giving you my power? That's like me giving you $100 and then asking you to give me $95.
Period.
And hoping that you give me $95 back. And it's just like,
why would I? Come on. So the thing is, you the only one who did that stupid shit. You did that. You fell for it. You believed, hey, you know what? Let's give up this shit and entrust our security and protection into these guys because these guys are trustworthy.
And it's interesting because, like, as my dad talked about a lot of stuff, and he's like, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has some shit going on.
I mean, with bitches.
And whatever. But what the Nation of Islam, especially here, was trying to teach is they was teaching the black strength. And that's why it was so dangerous.
Yeah,
because it was teaching the, like, man strength.
Yeah.
Black strength. Femininity.
Yeah.
What did that look like? And it's just like, Farrakhan still talks about these things today.
A return to those core and that's what people don't want to talk about. Those are conservative values.
It is.
Those are conservative values. And they do make sense. And they allow you to thrive as a group.
Well, conservation of energy makes sure you have the most energy.
Come on.
We're trying to conserve energy. So conservation,
and somehow, and that's why I say every time I see us backing certain things, I'm like, that's not even something that we would support. And when you really go, and make a return to your grandma, your great grand, and their values, and they don't agree with none of that shit.
They don't. Because you know what? And I thought about it because I told my dad a story, and he was like, I'm glad you told me this now that you're divorced and not while you were married, because then I would have had an issue.
But I'm as a woman, you have to understand that too.
I do too.
I think most of us who are conscious understand, like, you know what? There's no way I can even tell somebody about
this. That's that thing about that old dog, new tricks.
Because you could die.
That's what I'm saying. So,
and I don't want you to
circle back on that old dog, new trick, hashtag catchings.
Come on. But here's my thing, right? Even though I'm mad at you and what you did, I already know, me as a woman, I know if I let anybody know this, you could die.
Yeah.
And chances are me and you probably gonna make up. Right? Likelihood. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to die.
Look,
because them niggas ain't gonna be able to forgive you like I do.
I knew in first grade or second grade when my daddy rolled up on them niggas, whatever he had going on.
He was about that life.
He was about it. I knew when I beat up Matthew in third grade because he was talking to my grandmother, and my dad went up there and tried to beat up Matthew again, and he was all of 8. Like, I knew what and then I'm like, but you know what? But then at a certain age of maturity where you learn, with great power comes great responsibility.
And that's why it's a beautiful thing.
So I told my dad, and this could be my Tracy's calling, but I'm not. But so I told my dad, calling my name. So I'm out. We here in Colorado.
Come on.
At an exhibit concert or something like that.
Exhibit,
whatever.
This nigga.
It's something like that. It's like maybe it was Q-Tip actually. It was actually Q-Tip.
Oh, well, that's a lot different.
And Tribe Called Quest. Okay. So we out here, and it was
different.
like us, our lawyer friend, and my ex-husband and his friend from New York, who I think is just such an amazing man. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Morgan Stanley. Look up Anthony Paul. I think he's such an amazing man.
You know I'm fond of Morgan.
If you got some money, AP will get
if you
right.
ain't got none, get you some.
Get you some. He will tell you how to get it, but he also will tell you if you below his pay grade. But awesome brother. So we out at this Q-Tip concert. I'm out. It's in Colorado.
Okay.
And I'm standing, and they go to the bar.
Yeah.
This dude come up. He all of 5'2". I say that because I do feel like it was some little man complex. Him and a white chick come up.
That Napoleon complex.
So I'm standing there, kind of tall stature.
Right.
I got a little bit of space occupied, but it's a lot of space in there. Yo, he come and push me down. Like, I don't see him from behind me.
The 5'2"
He pushes me down. Yes.
Okay.
From the back, pushes me down.
Right.
So some dudes beside me, they're like, what the fuck? So he jump up. I'm just so shocked at what the fuck these dudes coming. So then my ex-husband comes up and he decides it's the time to diffuse the situation. So like in 5 minutes, I see him dap the guy up. And he's like, no, he didn't mean to. He say all this shit, at that. And I instantly knew then, and I probably shouldn't have walked into that meeting.
That he wasn't your husband.
That he wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. He wasn't going to protect me because yo, I don't never walk you into situations. But if you come and I got tears in my eyes and I just done fell on the ground and these guys beside you are telling me that this man pushed me down and you don't know that's the time. He's like, well, I'm in Colorado. I'm a black man. I could go to jail.
Stop.
Like you said, but that's selfishness by any, you want to live at all costs. But what you did was just sacrifice your bloodline. I could have been pregnant. He pushed me down to the ground.
Yeah, and you don't really realize, because that's why I feel like jail is the most basic environment of that, is where no matter what kind of a title you have in the outside world, at the end of the day, I will beat your ass. Mm-hmm. And so you do what the fuck I say. And my thing is, whether you think a woman is paying attention or not, I know that this nigga could come anytime.
Any man could come. Now I don't trust you.
I can't
because
trust
I can't
you.
be safe.
I might as well be with him.
I can't even, because I wasn't even drinking. I hadn't even drank yet, so we're not even drunk. I can't be safe with you.
No.
This 5'2" guy who I could take myself can beat me up or can try to beat me up, because I ain't gonna lie. He a man.
Think about what that says to a woman.
I gotta defend myself because you won't.
Because I know that you didn't make everything cool with him. Yeah. So now you trying to be cool.
And I'm like, yo, I get it by any means necessary.
And I'm not gonna ever try to
both of us
willingly put you in a situation, because I don't ever want to put my man in a situation.
And that's what by any means necessary means.
Period.
Both of us got to value your life.
I value you, and you value
all
me.
Means necessary.
Yes,
I would not put you in that situation. I'm not just going to
put you in a situation. But if we happen to get in that situation based on what it is,
so we leave.
I gotta know.
We leave. I'm bruised up, and I'm like, yo, Jay, have I ever put you in? You've never had a 5-minute club.
Period.
I never got drunk.
I'm not that girl.
I'm not that girl. Yeah. And if you don't know that about me, you don't deserve me as a woman. Period. I'm never. But if these stranger men
can just run up,
these strange boys walked up and was like, "No, he pushed your girl down." It was out of nowhere. Like these other boys was wondering how.
And you over there dapping him up.
I'm like, yo,
come on.
I gotta know that you're gonna keep me safe, so then I can keep you safe. Because I'm gonna do some shit. I'm gonna wake up and cook you a whole fish like I did today, baby.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
sew your clothes.
But we have
I'm gonna pack your lunch.
We have to acknowledge the role we played in it too, is because we have allowed that to go on. Yeah, you cannot. And this is why I think
when all you did was leave me by myself.
Period. When I watch like National Geographic and stuff like that, right? And they talk about how the males put on a show so that the females will pick them, and And here's the thing about the job of the female, which people try to disregard, and a lot of women want to be men nowadays. But my thing is, the job of the female is I have to be smart enough, because my job is huge. I'm only tasked with reproducing the nation. So first of all, I have to find the right mate to do that with. Mm-hmm. That gives my offspring the highest chance of survival, of making it out here in what I know to be a fucked up world, because I've been around a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. That's a big task I have.
It is.
And so when I see any bitch in you, I'm real sensitive to it.
Yeah. Because be clear.
I'm super sensitive.
Be clear, because here's what he assumed, which would have been a right assumption, is he saw me there by myself.
Mm-hmm.
He assumed I was a black woman by myself. Period. He assumed I was an unmarried, alone black woman who didn't have anybody to protect her.
And just pushed me.
And he pushed me because he assumed I didn't have anything.
Because you ain't nothing.
So that's the fault right now, is that Black men and Black women, we fault him because Black women are out here seen to be unprotected and we're unsafe. Yep. And so that makes us a target.
You're a target.
And Black men, and you were out here by yourself, so now you're dangerous as well. Yep. We don't have each other.
And you're an easy target. And here's the thing. It's so funny because my friend, he was telling me about how he lives in London. He's from Sierra Leone. But he was telling me how some of the we were talking about the differences in gangs in the U.S. and out there. And he was like, yeah, he said, when somebody does something to someone who is like in your group, even though it's not you, you have to take it personally because that means y'all ain't shit. We can just do this to y'all.
Yes.
So you have to feel some type of way.
Yes.
About
and that's why I was so impressed by the guys beside me who saw it. But it really let me know about my ex. And it was like, oh, yo, I can't have kids with you. You won't keep us safe. We're not safe.
No, and I'm not going to have kids. And that's why we don't have kids. We're not even together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ran off to find.
But then that does make me circle back on the whole very sad incident. So first of all, I know you said you don't even like to watch.
I did watch it for us to talk about it tonight. I watched as much as I could just to kind of get it, but it was just like what I thought. And yeah, I don't like watching those anymore because I feel like we know what it is. We know it was brutal and it was fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like I just don't.
But Tyree, poor kid. Yeah. So kid, routine traffic stop.
Black kid.
Black police officers. One of them look Hispanic.
Black police officers. Predominantly.
Memphis, though. So Memphis.
Black. Yeah.
You know, and so it is Memphis. And, yo, what got me more, I could have saw no video and heard the audio and still been like, are these some of my middle school kids in the street? Like, some of the stuff they were saying, like, get down, fuck, nigga. Like, they was like, some of the...
They was mad at this nigga. This
like,
wasn't even about cops.
With you?
This wasn't about cops and a person doing something. This was like a personal,
and it makes me look at... It makes me want to revisit, like, Black people and be like, yo, we keep asking other people to value our lives, and you don't even value my life.
Do you want to...
You out here calling me a fuck nigga, sit down, bitch, all this kind of shit. It's like,
do you value your life?
Do you value Black life?
Do you value Black life? If you did not, here's why the fuck you want to bring this up today? If you trying to ask somebody who don't look like you to value your son and your daughter, and you out here treating somebody who looks just like you, somebody who looks just like you, they look like your granddaddy, your uncle, your brother, and you do them like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All kind of great. It was like, even professionalism. It was like I was listening to CNN and they were like, I mean, even just the way these guys are talking, it's like, are you guys professional?
Well, because here's my thing.
They're like, shut the fuck up, nigga. Like, whoa.
Because would they have talked about, if it was a white person?
They wouldn't have addressed him like, sir.
Even while they was beating his ass.
Yo, I'll tell you some crazy shit. I used to coach basketball for this junior NBA team. And there was this white guy talking to me one time, and I was like, yo, do you feel like it's hard to teach, Black guys basketball? Because, like, do you think they respect your... He's like, yeah, off instinct, they going to respect me because I'm white. He said that to me.
But, and my thing is, did you feel offended by that? Or is he just telling you his experience?
It's true, though.
That people treated him differently.
Because I'm a white man in this, they're going to respect me because I'm white.
And we keep thinking that it's... that's why, like, when we talk about David and Goliath, or they talk about, we were grasshoppers in our own sight. It's because we viewed ourselves a certain way that other people saw us that way too. If you don't value your own life, can you be screaming and hollering and throwing up signs and begging and burning shit down for other people to do it when basically, if you go back to like even individuals, they always say, you teach other people how to treat you.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
You let them know what you will tolerate.
You're alive, you drink, you don't eat healthy, you don't exercise.
So they don't give a fuck. I give a smaller situation. So I went to many years ago when Lala and Carmelo were still together. They had a Christmas party that I went to.
I'm so shocked. I still just
because he used to play.
I just found that out.
I know that they're not together.
Yeah, it was just like wow.
So he used to play for the Nuggets, and they had a Christmas party, and I went because I had a friend. We went, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And Lala was so nice, by the way. She's so really nice. Like she didn't know who the hell out, and just was like, oh, she took me. She said, this is my friend. Like she was super nice. Whatever. But I'll never forget. We was in that big ass house and I went to the bathroom and there was like piss on the toilet. Oh my God. Is this bad that I'm saying this?
No, because
celebrities are never going to want to be my friends.
You don't even care about somebody's...
Girl, but no, it was her. But they're rich. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's means somebody else used their toilet and didn't even care enough to just like be
girl, I was just like, I remember thinking like, well, damn, this is how it feels, right? Is basically I just want to squat and piss whatever hops on your seat is what's left there because it just was like nasty. I'm like, damn, these people, and it was it wasn't even just like a party. It was like their close neighbors and some of their friends. And I'm like thinking, who the fuck been here just pissing on the seat like this? It was just nasty. And I remember thinking like, well, am I supposed to clean it off? No, I'm going to squat just like the way everybody else been doing and piss and whatever lands. I'm not going to fuck it up and I was just like, that let me know, like, it was one of the instances that let me know, like, it don't matter where we are. If people have been treating, and we witness how people have been treating you, we naturally fall in line.
It's a product of disrespect. If you don't respect yourself, how are you going to ask me to respect?
Because I'm going to be the only one doing the most in this situation. I'm going to go grab some shit, soap, and wipe it down. No, you niggas been pissing, so let me just piss and get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so funny. You're absolutely right. It's like, you don't respect, and this is why I say it's so important for you to don't make a baby with a woman and then try to teach those children. The way you teach is through example. Mm-hmm. It's like, you love this woman, you be with her, you take care of her, you respect her, you be an example to your children how they should be treated. And they'll have no other option but to accept that as a philosophy of their own life.
We can't keep asking for respect from the system.
Well, we not respecting each other or ourselves.
We don't respect each other. We don't respect because if we did,
this ain't even about
we
them.
Would stop, we would say, you don't talk to me like that.
Like your dad said, what are you going to do?
Like that. You don't
it
have
ain't
this
about
in my
them.
Store.
It ain't about them.
If we started asking for different, we would see much more change.
If we from ourselves first,
than a peaceful protest around
fuck
downtown
a peaceful protest.
Pennsylvania.
Because by the time you have the protest, shit then already went bad. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is how can we be asking for something that we're not even exhibiting that we give to each other?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I want you to give it to me. I want you to make sure my kids are good. I want you to do this and this and that. When your kids ain't even good with you. Yes. They don't even respect you.
It was so sickening. And I was like, first of all, I see these chubby ass, out of shape cops in Memphis. Y'all supposed to be on the tough unit. They put y'all thick ass on that unit because they knew that y'all was gonna have to use brutal force because your ass. They was slick upset because you couldn't chase this nigga down
because that nigga was skinny.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, fucking chubby, out of breath ass.
You're right.
And I'm watching you talk to
A1C
man
skyrocket.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, you don't know how to chastise, and I'm a teacher. I know how to take you down in a respectful way where you upset, I'm upset, and I still leave you as a person.
That's how they knew how to do it because that's all they know.
You just gonna talk to somebody crazy and do all this, and it's just like, and everybody's like, we got to make sure that white cops get the same treatment as black cops because they doing this all quick to the black cops, and I don't, I feel a way about it, but I don't. I'm like, I don't care who it is. You need to be a martyr for when you treat our sons like this. Period. But I'm just like, it was so upsetting and so hurtful. I watched that video and I was just like, I was pissed.
Yep.
I was pissed. I was so shocked at how his mom could get up there and be like, y'all peacefully protest. Because I'd be up there like, square up.
Yeah.
Hey,
straight up.
I'm about to,
straight up.
My husband about to meet you on cell block floor, square up.
What's so
because
funny?
It's just like,
this is the funny thing. One thing I do like about the military, I was in the military, my parents were military, my ex-husband was military, is in the military, if you had a problem with somebody, you had to go and address that person directly. Only after you addressed them directly and there was no correction and action would they get involved. So basically they would teach you to not be able to hide behind going over somebody's head or going and telling on someone. They wanted to teach you to be assertive and to address situations that come into your life, right? Yeah. And only after that, then if that didn't work, obviously then you got to resort to higher forms of intervention or whatever. And so that's kind of one of the things I feel like we need to really look at the part we play in situations. Yeah. And can I fix this at this level first? Yes.
Because here's the thing.
We be wanting to jump like, this is this.
So me and my dad were talking about it, and what I'm saying, and to me, this will kind of run into Earth is Ghetto, was like, Earth is ghetto, I want to leave. Can you beam me up? I'm out on the street. And watching...
Oh, Tyree. Yeah.
Yeah, well, not even Tyree. And watching Godfather Harlem, I'm like, I'm looking around, I'm like, why can every other group... We talked about this a little bit, but right. Every other group can, organize, but blacks. And I'm like, this is why Earth is ghetto.
Well, it's only not all of the blacks. Other blacks are organized.
Not in the same way. You don't Africans, have, what's a black mafia?
No. Oh, you mean how come we don't have like
what is a black
crime organization?
Cartel.
Snowfall, you ain't watching?
Even outside of it, what is a black caucus like that?
And here's my thing. You can't organize nothing. We don't have
what is the NRA for blacks? We don't
have anything organized.
But the reason why is our value, and because
we have fallen into the middle of everybody's shit. We're kind of up for the grabs. Everybody, we're easily manipulated.
We're up for the grabs, and we're for sale at a cheaper price.
But we wouldn't be that way. This is why,
we're for sale.
When I think about Black people, how easily we are manipulated by the narratives that are being told to us. Like, you're being hunted in the street. I was reading about a story, Tippa, last name is Tippa, a white 32-year-old white man who was killed in Dallas, Texas. He was, the police kneeled on his motherfucking neck for 14 minutes. About minute 11, he went limp and silent, and they was laughing, talking about the nigga was sleeping. He ended up dying. He called the police to help him too. And so as I look at other stories that are going on like that, and I realize those stories don't get publicized, but it's made to be that if I bring that type of story up, I'm like an Uncle Tom or something. Versus like what I really would love, and I feel like this could be the start to us if we really wanted to be like what you're saying, is if we looked at, first of all, not being emotionally manipulated by, there's like stories that are being provided to us that are designed to emotionally manipulate us. If we really dived in, how come we're not hearing about these other stories? It's because we're easily manipulated and controlled when they throw shit out and it's like, oh, this is that. And it's like, I wish we would be more emotionally intelligent enough to like not be controlled so easily
I think
by
it's deeper
other
than that
groups.
too.
But we are basically the consumer base for every other group. The Asians make so much money off of us because of our insecurities with our own hair and shit. They sell us all the hair products. We complain so much about them not treating us right when we come up in their establishments, right? And then it's like every other group, it's like, oh, we're like hate that.
What I'm saying is I think it's because we're for sale. And like,
but why are we for sale?
Well, here's the thing is, I'm gonna be clear. I think everybody's for sale, right?
On some level.
You know, like,
which is fine because we need shit.
But our price is so low. We're the lowest. We're the cheapest commodity.
And why?
Even if you think about slaves, right? If you think about slaves, right? They go to Africa, they give you a little bit. If European slaves or indentured servants, whatever, were cheaper labor than Africans, they wouldn't have used us. But we will sell. And what we're for sale, not only are we for sale, we will sell out our own.
Period.
Quicker.
But we don't want, and we don't want to address that.
And we don't talk about it because, like, even
we don't want to talk about
like
part.
The guy who sold out Stokely Carmichael, or the guy who sold out, like, the guy who shot Malcolm X is black.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, we'll sell out
the plants
for cheaper.
There'll be all so many plants.
But it's just because Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, we will sell out cheaper.
Which every group does have plans, but at the same time, right?
But they cost more.
They cost more. If the organization was solid enough, it could possibly be different, right?
How much
you can't help?
Because how much do you think is a soprano plant?
Yeah.
You know, how much you think is a cartel plant?
Because they know what they're willing to do. It's like, do you know what this means? We're going to kill the whole family.
And it's not even killing the whole family.
But they will.
Feel so much pride in not selling out their own that the cost of them has to be greater than themselves. We are so innately about self that we won't sacrifice self for the cause.
But I even think about the Chinese, right? Where I think we talked about this one time, like how the last name comes before the first name because nothing is higher than the family, right? So everything you do, basically under that philosophy, right, is like everything you do is not just about you. Matter of fact, you're the smallest part of it. It's bigger than you. This is about us. This is about the name, right? Because this is who supports you. And so that's why I feel like anytime you have something that prides itself on breaking down the Black family structure, because that is how you break down any major. You know what I'm saying? Movement is like, there is no family. There's no family.
There is no loyalty.
But there is no family. So it's like, okay, like you want to push this thing on us where it's like, okay, the woman and, the father's not that important. Like we've seen too many movies. I feel like BLM did that. It's like there's a push to break us down so that we're the only ones out here looking confused.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, they say they support that shit, but when you look at their shit, they ain't really following that shit, but they support us. They support us with obesity. They support us with the transgender, all the gay shit, right? It's like, fine, and they seem so inclusive, but yet when you take a look at their integral unit, like the basic fundamental parts of their groups, they're not like pushing.
Because to me, it's not even about them. They're supporting whatever they assume we need supported instead of us making sure that we don't sell out and support us first. And I'm just like, if we really want to see change in the Black community, we would stop putting ourselves on the chopping block. What we don't want to talk about is that we talked about how slave masters put us on a slave block, but we also have allowed ourselves to be up there too. We sold ourselves into it. We don't want ourselves into it. We put a cost
and we
on
don't
ourselves.
Want to talk about
keep selling ourselves out.
We also don't want to talk about that you always have a choice. You may not like the choices that you're presented with, but you have a choice. And the thing is, if you choose that I will either die or this will be it, it's very clear then.
It is. And you have to really, truly
it's very clear.
Because you know what? When my dad talked about it, because I was like, Dad, that's so intense. Because my dad said,
but that's how
I will die for mine. But my dad said, but when somebody really knows you'll die for yours,
they're not
really don't have to.
You won't have to, but you can't be playing.
But you have to do it. That's my dad.
You can't be playing.
But some of us will have to die.
No,
but then they'll stop trying.
Exactly. And here's the thing: you're gonna die anyway. So my thing, it's so funny because if I liken it to something,
like I said, I'll die for this country.
A little bit.
I was in the military.
If I liken it to something a little bit softer, like okay, so for example, it's like I remember every time I was ready, if I wanted to leave one job, I would go secure the other job, take it, and then come back to the other people and be like, hey, look, I really like y'all. I want to stay, but they're offering me this. If y'all can match that, I'll stay because I've already been here. But if not, I'm out. And here's the thing. I wasn't playing. I was really out. So the thing is, I realized that when you stop playing with people, that's that moment that you find that you can have whatever you want. Because I wasn't even joking just to get a response out of you. I was really letting you know what it was going to be. Either you can match me with what they're giving me, or I'm going to leave. Yeah. I would love to stay here because I've been with y'all. Yeah. But I really was. And it turns out when you really for real, man, everything opens up to you.
Because
but you had to have been for real.
It's funny because I have friends say that. My friends be like, oh, you either all in or you done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I feel like that way about my friendships. I do feel like that way about men. Because I'm like, yo, my loyalty is at such a cost that it's so dire to me. So either I'm going to be here and feel trust to this.
Yeah.
Or I'm out.
Straight
what
up.
I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, I can't. But I did think that I was like, yo, the world is ghetto, but somehow Black people can't be because everybody else is organized. And,
they organize.
And I'm using crime as an example, but I'm using crime as an example because the ultimate sacrifice is your freedom.
And when you say they ghetto, here's the thing. There's a difference between when you play in the ghetto and you ghetto.
Yeah.
Certain people play in the ghetto, but they go back home and would sleep safely in their beds. Everybody like to play in the ghetto. It's fun. I remember when I lived in the suburbs, I used to want to go to my ghetto cousin's house and I would pray my parents let me stay the night. They would never let me stay the night because they knew what the fuck went on over there. We'd be at niggas' houses. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And I wanted to go and play in the ghetto.
When did your cousin get pregnant?
Come on. 15, 16. So yeah, everybody want to play.
Let me stay.
But we got to get out of here because you know what? And we talk about the streets.
Tell me about the
streets. Calling my name. The streets be calling my name. Come on. Before we get out of here, I'll tell you the story. Okay, so this is the story of a lovely lady. Listen, so okay. This is the Cookie personal story. So Cookie, one time, she had been reached out, DM'd to by this dude. Dude was a comedian. Boom, whatever. She had never heard of him. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in Denver for Wooty Wooty Woob. I'm opening it up for Wooty Wooty. And so Cookie was like, okay, cool. Boom, he was consistently communicating with me and everything.
So you met him online?
So online we had been communicating and I realized he had reached out to me because he knew he was going to be in my city. Opening up for this
how did he even find you?
Comedian.
Okay.
Girl, probably, that's a good question. I have no fucking idea.
Okay, so Shalai.
Whatever.
Okay, Paris.
So boom, so he found me and we had been like communicating for a good maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks before he actually came out to Denver to have this show at the Improv, whatever.
Okay, Paris.
So boom. So he was like, oh yeah, boom, get your tickets, come on, whatever. And that was our like first time meeting or whatever. And I was like, so I brought my homegirl and everything, right? And I came and like we watched him and then
homegirl or friend?
She was because a friend I would still have her, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
I was about to say who did?
Now she's just an Instagram friend.
Okay.
So anyways, so we go to the show and we watched my friend, the dude who invited me, whatever. And then the headliner came on. I'm not gonna say who he was. But he was really funny. Don't be saying Kevin Hart. Don't fucking Kevin Hart. So
was he 5'1"?
No, he was taller than that. So he came on or whatever. And he was like really funny too. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So boom, after the show or whatever, like me and my friend go out and we meet with the friend and the headliner dude. And friend was like, the dude that I knew who had invited me was like, yeah, we should go to this little spot to play live music. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know. It was something brewing between me.
It was you and Taller Heart? Something you and Taller Heart?
It was something brewing between me and the other nigga.
Taller Heart.
So like, and it was like weird because and I knew he could sense it too because he was like, so where y'all going? He said, y'all coming? And I was like, yeah, we coming, whatever. So I told my homegirl, I said, girl, I don't know what the fuck. I said, that's crazy. Boom, whatever. But can't talk too much because this nigga, the other nigga's around, right? So we get to the club.
I mean, he is a new friend now.
You know, exactly, right? They all do.
Exactly.
So I go to the little club spot, right? You ain't no ring on this finger. So no, we get to the spot. Period. We get to the spot or whatever, and dude, like we buying drinks, we all drinking, and me and Headliner, because I don't want to say his name,
AKA Taller Heart.
Me and Headliner is just having a moment. And like,
oh, I love that. Like, what was it?
You know,
it's
like, just like
you hear Sia in the background, and it's just like
closer to my
like
dreams.
Butterflies.
Sometimes you just have to.
You look over and the nigga was in the same vibe as you. I love that you look over you. I just both like,
girl,
in the same vibe.
I didn't expect it.
Okay.
So boom. So we like so then this little even moment happens where like he like grabbing my knee under the table and we just laugh.
So not footsie kneesy. Is kneesy a thing?
No, but I'm gonna tell you, this is the part where you're gonna be like,
close to your vagina.
Damn, this bitch fucked up. So now I take my homegirl to the bathroom. I'm like, look, I don't give a fuck. I don't know what's going on with. I know that I met the other nigga first. I said, but it's something going on with me and this other nigga. And she was like, so what? I'm like, no. I said, but we got to get rid of this other nigga. And I said, which is kind of crazy because we brought him here from the comedy club. I said,
well, he actually brought y'all there, so.
No, he gave me tickets, but we drove. He hopped in the car with us, right?
Oh, y'all actually physically brought him here.
We actually physically from the comedy club.
He should have Ubered.
So boom, please, come on. So boom, I was like, we got to figure something. And look, she just feels like it's so easy. She's like, easy, we just dropped that nigga off. And I'm like, friend, I said, that's hard though. Like, how do I justify dropping this nigga off? Because when we came back out, Headliner nigga was like, well, what y'all about to do? Like, I'm rolling with y'all. That's what he said.
Headliner should have been figuring this out.
Headliner was like,
Taller Heart should have been figuring out the situation.
We should have been figuring out. So I told my homegirl, I said, okay, we can all ride together. And so she gonna tell me, she was like, it's easy. We just gonna drop your other nigga off first. I said, how do we justify dropping this nigga off first when he came with us? She's like, I don't know, but it's not that serious. You just met this nigga. How long you been knowing this nigga? And while she was logically right, there was still like a weird thing in me where I'm like, damn, this is fucked up. But why the fuck why did we really drop this nigga off? And
what did he say when you got in the car? Did you give him a hug?
So we got the other nigga in the car with us, and I was like, well, you know, it kind of makes sense because you're closer. And I was like, yeah, because we probably just gonna call it a night. Yo, I know he knew, and I often wonder what happened to him. But the reason I brought that up is because me and other friend are still friends, and I'll let y'all know how that goes.
Reunited,
and it feels so good. Gon' kiss the Kimmy, baby.
But I will say, well, I was going to talk about it because, like, just because we meet don't mean you're entitled to my time.
Doesn't mean she's a slut, she's a dog, she's a bitch with
and just because I meet you doesn't mean you're entitled to my time. I met you, and we didn't hit it off.
And I was choosing. And Cookie made a choice.
My dad always told me and my brother, if you go somewhere with somebody, make sure you got taxi fare to get home.
Please.
Because
great grandma used to say, keep plane
so
fare.
You was nice to drop him off.
So you can ride the bus fare comfortably.
Because he just met you.
Girl, I dropped him off. I could have just been like, whatever.
Like,
and here's the thing. Okay, so.
Even though I think Taller Heart should have been initiated.
Yo, we had all been drinking. And then we went out and hung out with some of his friends and stuff. And we had a good time.
You stayed out.
And I was in them streets. The streets be
calling my name.
So yeah, just so y'all know. So Kimmy, I mean, not Kimmy, but Cookie. Cookie has been in them streets. Cookie's not in the streets anymore, but
it happens to the best of us.
I mean, you know.
What I'm saying is that you have I'm all about loyalty, but loyalty is earned.
Come on, loyalty, you got to determine who you're going to be loyal to.
Yes.
And here's my deal. The vibe I got from that other nigga, I'm sure he calls all types of bitches when he about to be in another city. Like, period.
The fact that he did that is that he does that.
Come on. And that shit was wild, though. That shit was wild. But anyways, my friend is still my friend. I'll see him this week.
But what if you run into him with
the straight speed? Nah, they ain't friends.
Oh, they not?
Nah, he was just another comedian. They ain't friends. But yeah. Anywho, we got to get out of here.
I know. I just want to say.
I missed y'all. I love y'all.
I really love y'all. I want y'all to send us your Streets is Calling.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Like us at Kim and Cookie Podcast at gmail.com. Kim and Cookie Podcast on Instagram.
Yes.
We want to hear your stories.
The streets be
calling my name.
Yeah, we want to hear them. We love y'all.
We got some good stories. We got some good things. I'm really excited about y'all.
We love y'all.
Hitting our first $12,000.
We got to go. And we don't always agree. I feel you. But it don't matter. It's all good.
But it's